Today we're doing my second shipment of the Mary Maxim kit. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this out of the bag, and I'm just going to remove everything just to avoid all that loud crinkly sound. Well, welcome. My name is Sig. This is my channel, Essential Crochet, and you are always welcomed. Now, as usual, I'm not sponsored. I am not affiliated with anybody, so you can rest assured that all my opinions and perceptions and perspectives, they're all my own. So just take them as another bit of information you might use in consideration to whether you're interested in purchasing this kit subscription for yourself. Otherwise, just enjoy the video. And as usual, I do my best to mostly inform you, a little bit of entertainment from time to time. We try a touch. So remember, if you would like to see more content like this, please let us know by subscribing, making a comment. Don't forget to hit the bell button so you're always notified of any videos that I have newly uploaded. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So in previous videos, I have discussed how I've been trying out a lot, maybe not a lot, but different cotton yarns because I really want to like working with cotton. Although most of the cotton yarn I've come across, I'm really not very happy with. Now, the caveat to all of that is my lace work. I typically work with Aunt Lydia's mercerized cotton, and I love working with Aunt Lydia's cotton. And there's a couple other cotton threads for crochet that I will work with that I'm actually pretty pleased with. But as far as your heavier weight cotton yarns, so many of them I'm just not happy to work with. I don't like the way they split the thread or the pieces of thread within the yarn itself. I don't like the feel of it against my skin. I think for most heavier weight cotton yarns, it's really hard to make them look nice on a piece. Now, I have 100% organic Pima cotton that I've kind of discussed a little bit that I've picked up, and I still have to come up with a project, and that is a weight 4 cotton. So I'm really interested to see how that works up, see if it can change my mind about the heavier weight cotton. So with that said, and there's a reason for why I'm going on with that, is because in today's Mary Maxim kit, I was given 2 cakes of the Karen cotton funnel cakes. They say it's a limited edition. It's limited time only that they're putting this out. It's their Spring Essentials collection. And we're looking at 100% cotton, and it's a 4 weight again. So I have them in 2 colorways. I have this color, and you can kind of see where it has this really interesting texture happening with that. And so this particular colorway is lilac. My other colorway is called Calm Skies. So they're pretty. It really is a soft cotton. And I like the fact that they're twisted in such a way that I think I'll be able to work with it without constantly fighting the splitting. It does have a unique texture to it, so that's going to be interesting to see how that works up in a piece. So these cakes are pretty substantial. That's the one thing I really like about Mary Maxim's kits is when they give you yarn, they don't give you some half hank or half kind of skein yarn that's just, enough to cover the kit they're giving you. They actually give you a standard size skein or cake or hank that you might purchase at any store. And so, and another thing that I've noticed with them is, whether you like their pattern or don't like their pattern, that what you paid for the kit is probably somewhere very close to what you would have paid for the yarn they gave you. So for this yarn, I am looking at 8.8 ounce cakes, and that's going to give me 250 grams. And for my 250 grams, I'm going to get 425 yards or 389 meters. And that's going to be pretty much the same specs for both colorways because they're the exact same yarn, just a different colorway. Now they tell me I can wash this cotton on gentle and I can dry it on gentle, on a low drying setting. But they tell me do not iron, do not bleach, and do not dry clean. They do give you a little pattern that comes with the cakes itself, you know, and the banding. And so, you know, so that's nice. That's kind of, you know, just in case you don't like the pattern they give you. This particular pattern on these are actually require 2 cakes to make, let's say you wanted to make this scarf. And so while these might be 2 different colorways, they certainly match and you could work them up quite nicely into the scarf if you wanted. So that's another reason why I like how Mary Maxim approaches it. So even if they send me a yarn that I otherwise would not purchase, they usually send me enough of it so that I can just put it in my stash. And if I have occasion to use it, I already have enough of it to, you know, to do something with. So I'm not unhappy about that. And Mary Maxim's kits really do fall on the lower end of kits. So with shipping, I pay about just under $24 a month, I believe, for a Mary Maxim kit. So, you know, it all works itself out in the wash. Okay, so now with that said, let's move on to the pattern or this month's kit. So the pattern they give me this month is called Fringy Crochet Bunting. It's basically a granny squared triangle with fringes, and it's strung together kind of like pennants. So this is definitely not a pattern that I'm interested in doing or that I would even want to pursue, because this is really kind of like a teenage, you know, girls, like a young teenage girl kind of a pattern, right? This is something that she might hang in her room. And, you know, so for me, really, you know, normally I would work these things up for you just so that you can see what they look like. But in this case, I'm really just not even going to do that, because I think you have been at this long enough that you already have an idea on how your granny square stitch is going to work up in a triangle. And then, of course, the fringe part of it is really super basic too. So in this case, I'm pretty much going to save the yarn that they've given me and work that up in a different project. Now, also, I believe there is another possible, here we go. We have another pattern for another piece you can do. So if you don't like the bunting, you can make this kind of abstract wall art. And all you really need to do is get yourself a branch, which most people can find just about anywhere in any local park or just a walk around their neighborhood. And then you have this kind of half circle, sort of fringy, modern, abstracty kind of crochet wall hanging. So, they call it a half moon crochet wall hanging. Now, again, I love crocheted wall hangings, and I frequently make my own wall art that I enter into my state fair every year. At least I've started doing that. So I've done it the last couple of years, and I've actually won division champion the last 2 years that I've entered. So I really like my crocheted wall art. However, while I can see how some people would love it and it would work with the decor of some people's homes, or it appeals to their aesthetics, this is not something I'm going to use the yarn they gave me on either, because, you know, I can't really use it. And I think the picture itself is pretty self-explanatory. And if you're a super new crocheter, this is not something that offers any particular kind of challenge to you. And in fact, you can pretty much look at this image and see how to do this piece already if this is something you're interested in. Now, there is something that I do like about this pattern, and that is I like the diagrams that they give, right? So they give the written instruction and then they give you a diagram, which is really nice because, you know, this is just another way of reading a pattern via the symbols. And so this is going to be good for teaching you how to pursue each pattern, each type of pattern, whether it's a diagram pattern or an actual written pattern. So I think this really helps in terms of that. And I think I saw, yep. So I think I saw, you know, so you have the diagram here in terms of the bunting, in terms of your triangle granny. Kind of, it's not really a square, it's like a triangle granny triangle or something along those lines. So you can see that. So I really like that they kind of give you the option of both. And I think for those who are just simply learning or want to learn one or the other types of reading a pattern, this is really kind of a nice way for them to start learning how to read both patterns or one or the other in a nice, easy way. So yeah, so the video today is just going to be super short. I'm going to leave you with the image of this bunting. I'm going to wish you a safe and wonderful week. And I will see you next week, Tuesday, with another kit.